Hello, 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 I'm Rangru,
And I'm Troublemaker.
and today we are doing Clash of the Clans number 2 or 3. Is it the second one?
This is the third one.
The third
And
one, bloody hell.
yes,
Mm-hmm,
our first team
mm-hmm.
playing for Blue 4, or sorry, the Blue as Red 4. We have Troms with Andy CH, Tom's Cortez, and Kalach.
And on Team 2, in the red trunks, we have Protect 6956 with Gunner, Prettyhill, and Jemern. And the map today is back to Icon.
Guaranteed, any team that has like a random number in their
Mm-hmm.
name is just going to get mispronounced left and right.
Everyone's just gonna keep forgetting the number, eh?
It's like that Tommy Two Tone song,
Mm-hmm.
8675309. Yeah. Everyone's drunk in the bars like 899431061.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good song though.
Indeed it is, indeed it is. So yeah, this is our first co-cast for Wargame Red Dragon. A lot of new changes since our battle.
Yeah, well, really exciting. The tournament isn't going to stretch into the naval component of
Mm-hmm.
this game. It's going to go strictly on land until that gets balanced out.
Mm-hmm.
But the land game is a lot more dynamic now.
Yeah, especially with naval, because you can how naval units interact with land is really cool on some maps. Like you have little riverine boats going down, like being AA or mortar support. Then you have those big giant Congos just doing naval bombardments onto enemy tanks.
Yeah, it's a shame that they wanted to add, and this is the big thing, my big criticism. They had the Navy only maps, and because they
Mm-hmm.
invented those, it really ruined the way that the Navy interacted on the land maps. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's
Yeah,
too
I'm,
powerful.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Navy only maps. I like the maps where land and Navy are like, introduced together because how they co-interact with each other is always really cool.
Yes,
Always
and
really cool.
Pact is a little OP right now.
Redfor, you say?
Yeah, the Red Four. That's right. The Red Four is very, very overpowered right now. The Chinese editions have been very, very strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Red Dragons have been a pretty good powerhouse so far because how it's been working so far, it's really good to get a lot of cheap units. Like, you've seen the amount of T-34s that everyone brings out now. It's bloody crazy. It's all about the cheap tanks. All about the cheap tanks. Also, can I just say you have the map set up? Like, do you have the water on the bottom? Or
Yeah.
yeah, I have water on the bottom as well. Just making sure.
Okay.
So we should get started off fairly soon. It's a long. But yeah, this is a backed icon, a pretty interesting map at the bottom side with all the water. We have two capture points. You can do some little amphibious assaults back and forth, some sneaky peeky stuff. In the middle, it's pretty open terrain, especially between Charlie and Delta. ATGM's like King of the Hill, yeah. Golf, you got nice little forest up top, good for flanking, and down Golf and Echo. ATGM's once again a very open map.
The lake itself is very interesting
Mhm.
because the size of it is so big that you can actually very easily sneak things across here
Mhm.
if they don't have something guarding the coast. That is, like most people are going to put a recon helicopter here within the first 5 minutes of gameplay,
Mhm.
just because it's a very scary place to be amphibious assaulted.
Yeah, I remember when I like playing this map, I would always like going to the enemy side of like doing some sort of helicopter rush off the bat, and you have those towns on either side, like in Lima. So if you can get some infantry into that town, you can easily hold on to that place and really be a thorn in the enemy side. As they have
And
to start.
that's as far as tactics goes, that's a game breaker for either
Mhm.
side because Alpha and Lima are both basically gimmies.
Mhm. The 2 points give an awful lot of points.
And I think we still have another 2 minutes to
Yeah.
burn before this begins. Dear Lord.
Bloody hell, it's always in tournament matches, everyone takes their darndest to setting up
Yeah,
all their
they
units.
yeah, they're gonna get their time. They're gonna
Mhm.
spit the way they're splitting up units is very, very
Mhm.
specifically. They changed how morale works in Red Dragon so that there's a bigger benefit to grouping. But
Mhm.
they also changed artillery so there's a huge disadvantage to grouping. So I mean, people come up with really weird grouping
Mhm.
patterns.
I'm just looking at I keep saying blue four, but the blue red four guys at the bottom left. How they have all these tanks all in single file formation, all the ZTs and infantry transports, all just spread it around. An awful
and
lot.
and, and then some things like the anti-air and some artillery units, they decided like we're gonna group them up.
Mhm. Yes.
2 vulnerable.
2 vulnerable indeed, and yeah, another minute to a start. Bloody hell!
Yep.
It seems like at the and Kilo Redfor, they're not getting too much stuff compared to Blue Fort on the left, bringing out a lot more cheaper units. You've got those cheap AA guys, a bunch of those ZT-62s, very nice Chinese tank, the glass cannon run.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see how these guys plan to do things, because clearly I think Troms is going for very bulk-heavy, big push. And then when you look at project numbers, they're going for very, very few units. But these are all units that you want to swarm around. Like, they have a lot of these recon, which I'm going to guess are going to be little GNs. A lot of them, actually.
An awful lot indeed.
And few seconds and we're off.
Yeah, like 10 seconds left.
Maybe in the future we'll just start this like 3 minutes earlier.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. So let's do that. And away we go. So, any planes, planes, no planes.
No planes. This is not Airland Battle where you could just spam 500 planes out. This is Red Dragon where planes are kind of a valuable commodity.
Yeah, you can no longer get like free cards of the same type of plane. A lot of planes have been restricted to one card only, so plane spam has not really been the most popular choice.
And thank you, pack players, for abusing your massive MiG spam and bringing us to this.
You just airline battery just right at the start. Okay, there's 2 MiG-25s, like 4 MiG-23s. Just a bunch of stuff coming out, but now it's like nothing.
100 MiG-21s, go. Oh my god, we have a KA-52 being deployed right off the bat. That's our brand new anti-radar helicopter recon.
Very interesting helicopter, like how they did recon helicopters now, because you got attack helicopter recon helicopters, which are super duper powerful.
Oh my god, it looks like the tank line is pushing down south. There's a decent amount of AT being deployed, but will it be enough?
Bloody hell, it's a lot of tanks. Got a lot of those PTZ-59s, a nice little Chinese glass cannon tank. A very powerful gun, I believe that's a 17 AP on that run. So that can penetrate through a lot of armor.
And they may be regretting this mass recon approach. In fact, they weren't Lil GNs, they're actually Revetkas and Lee Rens. And here comes the big 29S bomber coming in.
Oh, this is gonna be big because they're all very clustered up.
We got lots of Shilkas firing.
Oh!
Doesn't quite get the target, but does get a huge stun.
Oh, nice stun. He didn't kill anything, but that was a good stun, stopping them from going over that bridge. And they're going to continue over, and now they're on the enemy side. And I think I might just get into Delta. There's not really anything here to stop him.
Yeah, this is pretty brutal. When you're looking at project side, they have 5 forward operating bases in play, which means they have,
that's
like
a lot of FOBs.
400 points less units that they would have otherwise had.
Bring out a Yak and a J78 and trying to stop his push. They're gonna need ground units, so if they want to hold, they are bringing up some NORAVs. But which, bloody hell.
Are cheap. They'll knock out these ZSUs, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just a very good shock play right off the bat from Troms, just moving right into Delta, capturing the point. And if they can just hold on to Delta, it'll be a good early on advantage.
Yes, now the big problem for NATO is that, not NATO, for the blue players, for Troms, is that they have invested a lot in this stack, and there's 7 tank destroyers coming out right now. So if they can eliminate enough of this force, they'll actually be able to grab Charlie as well.
Yeah, M125.
They're not setting up for any kind of defensive play to hold Delta. We're not seeing any infantry getting rallied in. There's no AT, there's no AA. It's just, this is it.
This is going straight for Kilo. And now the BRDM now having to move. It has been spotted by MD500 behind. Is gonna shoot it, and it does go down in Kilo. Oh, that is gonna be a game changer.
Oh yeah, and a lot of the tank destroyers have been knocked out by bombers, and these 2 shallows should not be able to make it very far.
It is not looking good for Redfor at the moment. If they lose Kilo, they're probably going to lose Lima because it's kind of cut off right from there.
Well, and they also, like, Golf is going to Troms as well, so it's not just It's not just this 1 or 2 bases. They're losing a lot. They're actually moving their command from Juliet, which is a 2-point base, to Kilo, which is completely not secured at all.
I do like to note how in the middle, in Echo, we do have Redfor moving up. Got a nice little force here, right into the flank. It's not too much here in the Foxtrot, so they might be able to get the CV and hold Jack down.
And he's actually deploying one of these, I hate these names so much, Tonke Shasu 85.
Yeah, it's the recordless rifle infantry, like 1400 meters in that recordless rifle. Not great AP power, but great for knocking out APCs at a long range.
And if you can
infantry.
If you can just sink them into the woods or into a town, there's no way they're going to get around. In fact, Gulf still not really secured. By now, I would really expecting Troms. Oh, actually, never mind. They're doing it right now. There's a command going in for Charlie. So they are following up with a play. Oh, we have a Spetsnaz VMF being deployed in the south as well. And we have an Mi-24A moving in for some sniping action. Dear Lord. This could get very volatile very quickly. Both sides pushing different flanks.
Yeah, it's just very aggressive play from right now. Redfor just moving right through the middle. Roll, drop. Bloody hell, I keep getting team names wrong. While
Troms.
Yeah, blue is okay.
Yes, it's just weird that there's even pact in the game. Really, like went from a game that had no pact to a game that only has pact.
Yeah, that's quite interesting for right now. I wonder how we'll see the other metas play out during the rest of the tournament. Might see some Bluefall play, because Bluefalls do have some pretty nice units. Eurocorps being a very popular faction. We've had Leopard 5s and the Clerks. And Raphael's. A lot of nice stuff from Eurocorps.
Yeah, this is a very, very volatile game. That Mi-24A in the south is still gunning away at the Bravo. There's currently a bleed being played on Troms. Our blue players are bleeding out. And yeah, this could go either way still.
Yeah, it's just completely chaotic at the moment. Both sides just... The map, there's no clear front line. Everyone's just sort of pushing into everywhere.
And that little Spetsnaz VMF squad is actually going for Alpha. So they'll be able to get vision on that the G-Way band command infantry and get some artillery on that. If they have any.
Yeah, I don't think I have really any artillery deployed at the moment. It might be able to snipe him. Might, maybe? Not entirely sure. Yeah, it's like, they also have the tankies, yeah, as well. A lot of these really hard to pronounce Asian names. The Scandinavians name rare enough in Airland Battle. They have all these Chinese and Korean and Japanese names. Also a complete pain to pronounce.
Which is brutal because, you know, according to people from Japan, these aren't even the proper names. They have other names, and looks like there's a command at Kilo for that rally, and it's been spotted, so that could go down very soon. It's only got 1 hit point left on it.
Yeah. And it's just a lightly armored cheap. Oh, it is getting resupplied out by the cargo, so it's going to gain some HP back. Might be a good idea to bring up a second one to Kilo just for security reasons. And this is looking quite good for Bluefall, or Redfor Blue, the Blue-Red at the moment holding down Kilo. They're going to be able to isolate Lima and capture, because there's bleeding nothing in Lima. Just with a Devka and an Afghansky.
The red team is actually, in fact, rallied out one of these MSTAs and is actually using it to do some artillery bombardment. They might be able to get a number of targets that they've spotted.
They are firing on the CV, and it does go down. The Kilo CV is now down for the count, and this could be up for the red team to recapture the area.
And this is really unusual. I mean, there's so few commands on the map right now. Period. Like, Red's winning because
they have Echo and Juliet and all of that. While Bluefall, we have Bravo and Hotel secured. And oh yeah, Redfor do also have Lima as well.
There's one funny trapped unit at Foxtrot. It's a PHL 63, the rocket artillery unit. It doesn't want to be there. I guarantee it. Here we are.
It's completely surrounded.
Yeah, and he can't actually hit anything in front of him. He's in minimum firing distance.
Yeah, I believe that's the napalm run, the Chinese napalm rocket arty. Yeah, and Troms Hind is gonna get ya. Oh.
But it's good. They've basically stabilized up now. Kilo is looking like it'll be regrabbed by Project very, very soon. There's only like one anti-air unit in that area, and that's it.
That HQ7. Oh, well, the Crow Town, the Chinese Crow Town, if you want to be specific. Yeah,
Yes.
just go down to the Mister. And yeah, Project Robot a recap to Kilo, and hopefully Delta managed to stop Trom's assault. But yeah, just complete volatile play, like you said.
Yeah, it's going to go into a mid game now. I guess we're going to see both sides rallying out commands is really
It's going to be important.
both thinking. So we got one more command coming out for Troms. They're going to grab that Gulf base. There is one command going down to Kilo. And Delta should be soon. That's basically secured right now.
Yeah.
So the map kind of divided naturally the way it does regardless.
Both sides is very aggressive pushes into Foxtrot and Kilo, but they couldn't hold. They didn't bring much substance in those pushes. Like in the Delta push through Kilo, it was a lot of tanks, not too much AA, and they just got bomb and run to NORADs and BTR-70s, completely stomped them, and then the rest of the reinforcements came and finished them off. So really it's going to be now, both sides, map is evenly divided down the middle, right down the river. So it's going to be down to basic pushes to try and gain an advantage.
Now, both teams, I should note, have agreed to a rule, which has now become kind of a tournament rule, which is no little GN. They're invisible. They cannot
I believe
be
it's also no infantry silencers, because at the moment, silencers, when an infantry fire a silent weapon, they do not stir up. So you could have an infantry unit, like an enemy infantry unit, right next to you, but you never see it, because it's using a silent gun, and it's just picking off all you guys. And it's considered pretty imbalanced at the moment.
And it's, they're going to fix it. It's considered to be a bug right now. It's in that phase. But, yeah, it's game ruining kind of thing. But these teams are both used to playing with those units. They practice with those units, and now in this tournament, they don't have them.
Especially Jianzhou's an absolute phenomenal Chinese infantry unit, not just because of a silent weapon, but because they have those napalm rocket launchers that completely destroy infantry. They're better than Spetsnaz, I have to say.
Yeah.
Good old Spetsnaz.
And I have a really high praise of the Spetsnaz. They were, and still are, one of my favorite units. But the little GN it's just a phenomenal unit. And yeah, we're seeing like an Su-27K SK come out here. That's a pretty expensive plane.
Yeah, pretty nice plane.
And MiG-29S. So we're two of them actually. So yeah, we're at that point in the game where they are probably running out of cheap spam units.
And they're trying to get a bit more like heavier armored units to hold down their points instead of these fast shock units for attacking.
Now we probably will not be seeing any T80s or T90s or anything like that because they don't fit in the meta at the moment.
The problem with heavy tanks at the moment that a lot of people complain of, there's not too many places to hide them, like an airline battery at all those forests to hide all your infantry. A lot of your stuff is always exposed and seen by enemy, making them very susceptible to ATGM fire, artillery fire. So having a big tank that has like a bullseye saying shoot me with an ATGM, and having like a 180 point tank lost to a couple ATGMs, it's not really valuable. A lot of people prefer getting those T-34s at the moment, being a very popular tank due to its cheapness and fire support.
Yes, and it's unfortunate because the French have like some ridiculously good heavy tanks right now. Like that Leclerc, named after the famed president of Vichy, France. Like it's just it was a ridiculous tank until people realized like, yeah, these are really easy to kill.
Yeah. But it is a phenomenal tank. I prefer it more than Leopard 2A5 just because it has a better fire rate.
And yeah, Not too much happening now. There is a little bit of a bleed. It won't be a very long bleed, but it is enough to kind of push the scoreboard a little bit higher for Troms at Charlie. And there's only 1 hit point left on that infantry.
Zanti's holding out, but they are starting to get cleared out. A bunch of more Strackley and BTRs. Unload and complete Hell into them. And Echo should fall into... I hate how it's this Team 1 and Team 2 instead of like Redfor and Bluefor. Makes it really confusing. I'm trying to just look at it.
It's weird because, you know, there's a lot of features that we always asked for. Like, Rewind, which we did eventually kind of get.
Yeah, and that was interesting. Oh, okay, really bloody sucked because the game would pause every 30 seconds for like 2 seconds. So every minute, like every 30 seconds, it's like a lag. And then it goes on, and then there's a lag. And then it goes on, and there's a lag. So they removed that for now, and I hope they're going to make it a bit better. Because it's very intrusive in normal replays.
And yeah, there's a lot of features they also added that nobody wanted. Like, Team 1, Team 2. I would have preferred something a little more professional looking in terms of a scoreboard. Currently, with my eyes being as bad as they are, I can't even read these numbers.
Get glasses, mate. And yeah, both sides at the moment, they're just doing these small pushes back and forth over the river, across the bridges, but they keep getting completely stuffed. You see some WZ55 Troms and Echo just going down the road. They're going to get picked off by the ATGMs. In Bravo. You see what's happening in Bravo?
Yeah, the Tanke Shashu 85.
Oh, that is a good spawn cam.
A lot of supply trucks, and supply trucks are very, very necessary. And he's just going to try and run away with them, I guess, or hide them for now.
Yeah, if he can get the Mistern, yeah, or maybe even CV, that'd be quite a good lead.
And the funny thing about those supply trucks is that supply trucks are highly explosive.
Yeah.
And if he destroys them, he could destroy his own stuff.
Yeah, you seen, like, if you group up a bunch of supply trucks together, if even one gets killed, it's a chain reaction explosion where all of them just die in a great fireball. Yeah, and the tankies do get killed.
And the cargoes naturally return. I'm hoping, or nope, never mind, can't possibly happen. I was hoping the MSTA would target those supply trucks just to kind of get the FOBs, because FOBs are like 75 points, and they only have 1. So once that's gone, that's a lot of lost time.
Completely different, like, this, you see, Project, they got 5 FOBs at the start. That's an overkill amount of FOBs. While Troms, they just got 1. Just 1 FOB for all the artillery needs and supply needs. So if this game goes into late game, it's really going to be favouring Project because they have a lot more supply to work with.
And like when you have a lot of FOBs, you have to think about what kind of units use a lot of supplies, and that's missiles, rockets. That's like your planes, your anti-tank, artillery units. What else am I missing here? I think that might be it.
Yeah, probably. There's anything that uses missiles or artillery. They're very supply intensive.
But they're not really using that many of them. They're actually using these tank destroyer shallows, which are super, super supply effective and a lot of vehicles. So
complete different play styles, yeah.
They might tune up this style a bit throughout the tournament, because right now we're at, hypothetically halfway through a 40-minute match, and the FOBs have barely been touched. But we're going to see, there's still, I think, another 2 MSTAs that can get rallied out, hypothetically, and they might drain supplies there.
Yeah, got a bit of Troms planes going around in Sliema. Going to be dropping some bombs on the BTRs and Afghanskis. They're going to move right out the race, so it's not really going to get anything.
And that was just a blind run. There was no recon there. It's just that particular point being where it is, you kind of know there has to be something there.
Yeah.
Or otherwise, that's assuming you're playing against a really good player. When you're playing against a lackluster player, like, yeah, you assume nothing.
Yeah, both teams has been pretty passive at the moment, doing some bombing runs, artillery each other back and forth. No one's really gaining up for a big push. And yeah, both sides is pretty even Stevens on point at the moment.
Yeah, it won't take much for a project to get back in this. They literally have to, kill that Jiwi band single health point at Charlie, or get a lucky shot on one of these BTR 70Ks floating through the map.
Yeah, projects are going to be the runs you have to pursue if they want to win. So hopefully you do see an attack from him quite soon, just softening up the enemy defences with Mr. Shot after Mr. Shot. Actually doing counter artillery on Troms Mr.
Oh, that is brutal, and it has basically moved out of the way. But one of the funny things about like these artillery wars, and it's less important now than it was before, but if you artillery on top of your FOB and on top of your supplies, you're taking hit point damage on your FOBs, which is bad.
Yeah, just slow play back and forth. Bit of artillery. Those PHLs are going to be firing. Good old Chinese Berantino unit.
Oh god, these like you can see a lot more supply trucks coming in. Yeah, these guys are playing for the long haul now.
Oh, we do see a project bringing up a bunch of T-34s. Oh yeah, Polish T-34s right there.
Polish T-34s.
Yeah, basically every single Redfor nation except for like East Germany. No, except for Czechoslovakia gets a T-34. Yeah, like Czechoslovakia and China, I believe, are the only two nations that don't get T-34s for Redfor.
It's funny, but it's really accurate because in 2014 there were 34 countries that still use the T-34.
Yeah, it's just so mass produced that it still float around like AK-47s.
Yeah, I think the AK-47 is even worse because that was invented like 1940.
1947 was when it was invented, but it didn't start getting more mass produced till the 50s.
And now it's the most popular weapon in the entire world, even though there have been improvements.
But yeah, just this T-34 spam. This is a pretty good assaulting force, as silly as it looks, because they can soak up the ATGMs and artillery fire and bombing runs, so the more heavier tanks behind him can get the kills. So yeah, T-34s are just a great meat shielder unit, and that's how you see them being used an awful lot.
Yeah, we might be seeing a push come really soon because we have all these Yaks and MiG-27s coming in trying to soften up a lot of targets. And we might get a plane sniper here. MiG-27 running into a lot. Oh, God.
Oh, SU getting in. And yeah, the MiGs and SU do shoot it down.
So that was a big deal. That plane was kind of like your tank sniper.
Yeah.
So that's missing. This assault. Of course, no heavy tanks on the board, so it's not as heavy of a loss as it could have been.
Both sides just getting a lot of... You're seeing an awful lot of like infantry transports being used, like BTR 90s, BTR 80s. A lot of these high-end infantry transport with autocannons and ATGMs.
Yeah, that BTR 80 is definitely my favorite of the new transports because that autocannon range makes it into a real tour de force. They can you can deploy it and snipe from like a few thousand kilometers away.
Yeah, I think that's like 1.7k range.
And here comes our assault.
Yeah, all T-34's going in. We've got bombs dropping. And this might just... Oh, blimey. Gets a few of the T-34s.
A lot of these Yubaways come out, and they are your kind of militia force, and they're not particularly strong, but they are cheap.
Yeah. Also, the great thing about Red Dragons is that their deck, they get two different reserve infantry types. You got North Korean reserves, and you got the Chinese reserves. Super cheap units with super cheap transports. That's absolutely great for spamming and just holding down a town. Not great killers, but they're just great at holding down a section. And also, you get like 15 of them per. Yeah, you get like 15 of them per one squad. So you got an awful lot of HP to work with as well.
And so this is a really, really low risk assault. Every single one of these UBWay squads is only 5 points. Every single one of these T-34s is only 10 points. And hypothetically, in 5 minutes, they could do this another 3 times.
Yeah. They got some marks directly in BMP Rundies, a bit more force to try and get these lead Rens, BTR 80s, Yuck, and you got the Yuck Rideys gonna be heading in. But oh, that BMP Rundies is gonna eat them up. Automatic grenade launchers, not even runs.
We have a tank force moving through the south. A Buratino is winding up with some pretty massive amount of napalm. These bombers are basically holding this force back.
Oh, we got the Hinds coming in. They're going to be picking off the CTs. There's absolutely no AA support whatsoever. Got a Tunguska moving up now. And now these ZT-59s heading right into the little town here. Get some nice shots on the side, but I don't think they will survive you. Yeah, the Hinds are starting to shoot. Oh, the Mi-24Ps are out of ammo. The Mi-25 almost out as well. This could actually work for Project.
They don't need much. They only need to get this point neutralized for maybe a minute.
Oh, this is just a crazy assault. Napalm, planes, complete crazy spam. It's looking absolutely awesome.
We're losing a lot of planes here. I've counted so far 7 planes have gone down by the 2 of them. Just rushing into the anti-air network and losing it. Tunguska getting a kill himself there.
Now this is a pretty good assault so far for Project. If they can capture that town, that's be a good Lee Ray point, so he can start moving 2 rays into Charlie from the top and across the river. And
really, all we need to do is get in some tanks and AT along this forested mountainy area.
Oh yeah.
And there's only 1 hit point left on that infantry command there, so they won't be able to re-grab this point. That's the goal here.
And if 14 minutes left, they can hold us down for like 5 minutes or so, they'll be good to go. But we have a bunch of reinforcements coming up. T-64 BMs, some heavy armor. Oh, we had quite a few T-64 BMs. Hinds resupplying. A lot of tanks, misters, continuing just bombarding the bridge.
And I mean, there's a bit of a tactical faux pas here. They need to go all in. So that T-80 behind lines, that PTRs Conquers, they need to move on up. They need to grab ground because there should be nothing behind their main line.
Yeah, that T-80 could be the absolute game changer. It would completely eat up every single unit being brought out, including those T-64 BMs.
And unfortunately, it looks like a lot of their units are going on that southern flank are just kind of going in there to die. We have these Z9A TY90s, great little alphabet soup there, are getting picked off by a lot of these anti-air PGZs.
Yeah, that's anti-air, the crazy Chinese anti-air helicopter, the Z9. It's just like 8 2,600 meter missiles, completely destroys Hinds and any other infantry or attack helicopter. Be a very popular choice. I believe it's modeled after, like, it's the French Puma, but Chinese form, isn't it? The Z9.
Yeah, that's the Chinese though. Like all their weaponry is like, you stole from us. Like, no, we did not. Never do that.
And we got blue, Troms. Troms are blue. Troms regaining into Charlie, bringing up some PTZ-59 to a bunch of recoilless rifle jeeps. And T-64 BMs holding on to Charlie. They might want to get some more infantry into, like 80s Jemern infantry into the Charlie town. Be a great point to hold off any tanks moving up because you have a lot of open terrain to shoot them with nasty ATGMs.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of big blue units coming through, trying to push this back, and they know the name of the game right now is just hold on. Oh, it looks like some random artillery actually knocked out Golf. The command at Golf is gone. They're bleeding.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. And that Project, just every single point is going to match up for Project at the moment. There's only 12 minutes left. It should still go either way. It's a pretty tense match.
They're bringing out a command infantry. They're going to recapture that point, but they only have so much more that they can do. Yeah.
It's definitely going to come down to a timed victory, that is for sure.
And really, if there's a Spetsnaz VMF at Golf moving up, if he can get that into a good position for spotting, because there's not anything that actually can target it long range there. So if you can move it to the south, he will just constantly be able to get that command every single time.
And there's not really anywhere to hide and go. They have a few tree lines, but they don't provide very good camouflage.
Ooh, picked off. Okay. Back to the drawing board, sub. MiG-27's coming in for some tank sniping.
Yeah, this is just really like the cheap MiG-27. Don't really see those being used too much. People prefer to get like the Su-27M or the other MiG-27s like the K and the MiG-27M.
Even this MiG-31 is kind of a rare sight these days because this particular map is very, very, very narrow.
No, you don't see the F-14 and MiG-31 circles like you used to do in Airland Battle, because the F-14's a naval unit now, and the MiG-31, well, people prefer to get the Su-27 and MiG-29 for more medium and more closer range interceptor killing.
I mean, it's one thing that was kind of cool because the MiG-31 and the Tomcat, they were just really heavily an on-microed unit. We really switched into a medium fighter meta. Great.
Yeah, I love this new meta. You can see Raphaels and Eurofighters and all these just really cool planes battling it out using guns and cannon instead of like the old airland battle. I have a circle of F-14s. You have a circle of MiG-31s. It's all down to random luck of who can hit who first. Got T-80M finally moving up. He's on the other side of river. Good ATGM range. There he is out of ATGMs.
This could be a very sad show for Project if they can't get things done, because they only need 5 points.
What would be a good idea? You see, like in this bottom fork down by Charlie, where it connects from the little factory across that river. If Project could maybe do like a quick infantry assault into the factory from here and hold it down, that'd be good to go.
But unfortunately, this air support's been very, very good. Su-25K goes down.
Yeah, it does go down. But it's going to drop its bombs in the HQ. Oh, barely survives. And almost gets the Bonatino, but the Bonatino is an armored artillery piece, so it will survive.
And that Bonatino, all he has to do is get a good shot on that GV band. And that thing is gonzo.
Yeah, and Project, they need 5-6 points to catch up into the lead. It's hardly anything, just killing that EBN will put them into victory.
So south of Kilo, we have a recon helicopter trying to sneak around. Has been finally spotted. Might be able to get a Buratino.
I do like this M-Run 992 at the bottom of Kilo as well. That's a very odd looking vehicle. Has like an automatic grenade launcher and then an ATGM on the back.
Well, the funny thing is that guy got across there through the giant lake. I shit you not. I watched the entire time like, I don't think he's going to make it. And then he totally made it. And I was like, well, now I feel foolish for not pointing it out.
It looks really like makeshift. It looks like there's something somebody just put together some metal and steel and put 2 weapons on top. But it's a pretty awesome recon unit because it has firepower to knock out infantry and tanks. And it's going to ambush these BTRs. Oh, I might get him actually. Yeah.
And he's got a frag ground launcher, so he's going to get all these Moto keys as well. Potentially. Nope.
Yeah.
Dead and stun did not last long enough, I guess.
I have to admit, they really added some awesome recon units now, because you got, you got the VBL Mistral, which is that French unit with the AA weapon, the little AA truck. Recon unit got recon attack helicopters. They really spiced up recon instead of just being cheap UAZs that you spam, or cheap helicopters that you spam to just get a quick look at the enemy CV.
Charlie has gone down, and now we see project numbers.
Then they are now in the lead. Oh-ho! So
I mean, this is getting really bad for Troms. They actually have to push somewhere now. Or get lucky.
Yeah, they only have 7 minutes left to do such a thing, so it's gonna be very close. This has been an absolutely awesome game so far. Been neck on neck the entire time. There's great play from both sides, very aggressive play.
And every part of the map really came into play. We did see a little bit of a lake amphibious landing. The big giant push into Delta and Kilo, and then on the other side, the big giant push into Foxtrot. Like you saw every angle getting pushed here. And it's only a 3v3. This isn't a 3v4.
This has been a really, really good match so far. Can't wait to see the rest of the tournament.
And we would have another game sooner, but there was one match that got played, and it wasn't done according to the right rules.
So we're going to have to do that once they replay that match.
Which won't be too long. These guys, they don't have any life. They play Wargame a lot.
Just like us.
Just like us, actually. I come home and I play the single-player campaign every day of my life.
Oh, I do like how Gunnar here's getting some BTRs into a factory in the bottom. If he can just get some infantry in here and hold it down, that's really going to be a pain in the side of Trom. Because having towns of great because they're really hard to kill infantry inside the town. So if he can get some ATGM guys in this bottom factory, he can completely cut off them from moving up into Charlie.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy. Project Numbers so confident right now. They're going to rally another command into Charlie to replace one that's dead now. So even though the game's almost over, they're still thinking about the long term.
Yeah, to try to get as high as lead as they can possible. So it'll be impossible for Trom to recapture the lead. And I have to admit, these Barantinos and PHs have really been helping them a lot, because they just instant napalm on enemy tanks and even helicopters, completely blocking line of sight and panicking them to Kingdom Come.
I swear to God, these guys are stealing my playstyle. So what I do in 1v1, which I've been playing secretly, is I'll get like an extra FOB, and instead of using supply trucks to bring to the front line, I rally my Buratinos back to the FOBs and restock them there, and that's exactly what they're doing. If you look at their FOBs, since they got the Buratinos, they're pretty well drained.
Yeah, good thing I did bring out those extra FOBs, because this turned into a long match. So I used every single inch of supply I could get with the misters and those napalm launcher artillery pieces.
A lot of people right now are really waiting to see what the old top teams do. Like No Unit was the winner last time. They're very sickly good on strategy. Steel Volatility are huge on their I guess Redfor use now. And WTF Team 1 was, ungodly. I don't even know if they're even in this. Like it was Anoka and those guys. I don't think they're even playing the campaign, the multiplayer anymore.
Oh really?
I think they're just modding, making their own game.
Oh. I know. There's Hob mod and all of that, because the modern tools have been, or unofficial modern tools have been released for Red Dragon, because you can like mod unit stats, so you can have like tanks shoot aircraft down.
And just ridiculous skins, dear God.
my little kitty TACUM, make it happen.
I'm looking for like the bubblegum flavored pact. Waiting for that one.
Starburst tanks.
So yeah, this is, at the beginning of this, I would have never called this. I thought for sure that Project was just getting completely screwed and losing, but they really turned this around.
Yeah, it's just ever since they managed to push back the Kilo so amazingly, getting a bunch of reinforcements and stopping all the ZTs moving up, because that was a huge assault in the Kilo. Absolutely massive.
And they're still pushing, and there's not really anything to stop them. It's just anti-air units up front, and they can push them through.
Yeah, and the CTs are just moving right in. Gonna be blowing them up to Kingdom Come. Those punk guys out of ammo.
Yeah, this will probably be a victory. I'm gonna predict it finally. Finally, very predictable.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes left. Lead by 30 points. It's definitely in their favour.
These Chinese tanks have been very good. They're very low cost, very punchy, I find.
Yeah, it was CT-59s. I believe they are the 60-point Chinese tank destroyer, or you have the 60-point tank destroyer and the 40-point tank destroyer. They basically have the same armor, but the 40-point one, for 40 points you get 17 armor penetration, while the 20-point one gives you 20 armor penetration for a cannon for 60 points. It's huge. Absolutely great tanks, because they have such a powerful gun rate. They can shoot TA-TUs and kill them for 60 points.
That was one of the big reasons why the Day Clan decided not to join Clash of the Clans 3, was because you know, the game's not really balanced, and there's a lot of weird and wonky stuff. You know, it wouldn't matter though. The game wouldn't be balanced in a few months anyway.
So I got this nice napalm on all of Troms infantry, Troms vehicles, standing them all up, and the CGs and BTRs just picking them off as they come out the fire.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go on a whim here and say that there was probably a lot of raging at the end. This one's like, just Buratino!
Yeah, but I hate going up against Burantino's because you can't counter RTM because they're armoured. It's a T-72 armour on an artillery piece, so you can't, like, counter artillery. You have to get an ATGM, or you have to do a really good bombing run to knock it out. And even then it still survives.
The other thing is that even though they're, you know, a form of a rocket artillery, they're very fast shooting. Compared to the other ones, so you can't just shoot where they shoot from because they'll be gone by then.
Yeah, because after you fire, once they fire, they're out of ammo, so you have to pull them back to reload. So it's a kind of a pain of the arse to deal with. And because they're always behind the back lines, you can never get your tanks to shoot yet, because they have TAT Rams infantry guarding the Burantinos. Yeah, 3 of them at the moment, and that will be a good game.
All done, and total victory done on... Apparently the map was back to Incheon.
Back to Incheon. Back-to-back action. Yeah, quite a big KD difference, bloody hell.
Yeah, and that's just the big reason why Project took this. Every single one of their players was a psycho killer. I've never heard of any of these guys. I think I've seen one Prettyhill game, but they're all doing very, very exceptional. Troms gonna have to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, great match overall, aggressive play, neck on neck. That was an absolute blast to cast, I have to say.
Yes, and throughout the week and weekend, we'll have more as they come out.
We're just doing it as they get released. So yeah, that's all we have time for. I'm Rangru.
And I'm Troublemaker.
Take it easy.